तमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः कपिलाय नमस्तस्मै येन विद्योदधो जगदिमग्ने कारुण्यात् साङ्ख्यमयी नौरिव विहिता प्रतरणाय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. So we were discussing about the completion of purpose from Prakriti as well as Purusha, the consciousness. Although the purpose is completed, but still the conjunction, the natural conjunction of Prakriti and Purusha continues. The reason is both these principles, Prakriti and Purusha, is omnipresent. So there must continue the contact, or what we call as conjunction. But the purpose is completed, therefore after the discrimination of both, there is no chance of further enjoyment or any action from the Prakriti side. So tayo prayojanam nasti sargasya. So there is no motive for further creation. So that is the reason the Prakriti and Purusha remains separated. So this is what mentioned 66 Karika. Now 67. If all karmas and functions of Prakriti is stopped, separated, and without a purpose, nothing can work. No body, mind, or nothing will work. So there is no action purposefully. Then how this body is maintained without the actions? How this body is maintained? So this stage of realization, we call it Jivan Mukti, the living realized. So how this Jivan Mukta, the living realized, can maintain his body? And if he is not maintaining the body, then nobody can see and have his advice, his teachings. So we will not find any realized soul in that case. As soon as he realizes, he will leave the body. So the body cannot exist further. Therefore, some explanation should be given in this regard. So here in 67th Karika and 68th Karika. So 67th Karika is explaining Jivan Mukti and 68th Karika explaining Videha Mukti. So when Jivan Mukta finally leave his body, so he leaves his body and this is separated. Samyak jnanadhigama dharmadinam akarana prapto तिष्ठति संस्कारवशात् चक्रभ्रमवद्धृतशरीरः सम्यक् ज्ञानाधिगमात् धर्मादीनाम अकारण प्राप्तौ. Samyak jnana adhigama, by the perfection of knowledge. Samyak jnana adhigama. So he attained the perfection of knowledge, the complete knowledge. Here, knowledge means discriminative knowledge. In Sankhya, there is no knowledge of oneness, or we say as Brahmajnanam. So knowledge here is discriminative knowledge. So Samyak Jnana, this is called Samyak Jnana. And how he got it, how he attained that knowledge? By knowing all the modifications of Prakriti, all the 25 tattvas, including Purusha. So this is called Samyak Jnana. So once that is attained, then Dharmadinam Akarana Prapto. See, Dharma and all other 7 parts, so they become causeless, Akarana Prapto. So they cannot cause any effect. The Akarana Prapto, they become, they lose their power of causing effects. So this has been discussed before. So dharma, virtue and all other forms which are the functions of karma. That is to say, the functions of Prakriti. So Prakriti is working through karma. So those karmas have 8 forms. The actions have 8 forms. So out of 8, the 7 are causes of bondage, and 1 is releasing the bondage, that is knowledge. So this is what we discussed there. So he is referring to that. So dharmatinam akarana praptau. So it doesn't mean they are destroyed. Still here we have to remember there is no destruction of anything. According to Sankhya philosophy, destruction cannot happen. So where to destroy? There is no cause or no material where you can destroy. The effect merges into the cause, and cause remains with the potency of the effect. So this is what the destruction means. But we can say in one stage the effect is not in action. In another stage, effect is inaction. So inaction and action, these are the two different levels of effects. Now, if one individual who happen to get the discriminative knowledge by the practice of sadhana, he separate himself from the functions, all the functions of mind and body. So he cannot destroy anything. As we have already seen, knowledge is helpless to destroy anything actually. The actual destruction, real destruction is not there. And knowledge cannot change the actual object into another form. Only knowledge will reveal the originality of the object. So, the karanam of the object, the cause of the object. Or we can even say the manifestations and the step-by-step changes of the object. If one individual knows all this, then he realizes the truth. So this is the truth, what we call as creation. The truth of the creation, the reality of the creation. So that is ultimate. Why it is ultimate? Because after that, he would not connect himself with the objects outside. Because of misunderstanding, taking the object in some other form or some other purpose. So he was superimposing all the purpose and enjoyments on these objects. So now that is released, realized and released. So there is no connection. Therefore, this is called akarana praptau. In this level, no karma can work. So for him, there is no karma. Why? Because all those karma is in Prakriti's side. Now the manifestation of Prakriti is disconnected. So there is no karma is working for him. So dharmadinam akarana praptau. Tishtadi samskara vashat. This is very important. So now how this body's tishtadi remains? By samskaras. By the power of, or the what we say, after effect of samskaras. So samskaras, we know all previous impressions by a long practice. So the long practice, what we call as habits. So what are the habits? It's a long practice. So after long practice, the subconscious minds take that practice into his, its nature. It become a natural process. So after this, habits are there. So now all our habits are because of practice. So if you practice something for 21 days, it says, it can be less or more, but 21 days if you practice, one circle is completed, then that what you practiced can be your habit. It means, what does it mean? It means after 21 days, you can do that what you practiced very easily. The easy doing, the tendency will come. So it become a tendency. Now, once it is become a habit, then you cannot stop doing. So you are pushed to do it. You carried away to do it. So that is the characteristics of habits. Okay, so now if you continue these habits for 90 days, the another circle will come after 90 days. So we do all the anushtanams for 7 days, 21 days, and 41 days, and then 90 days. It goes like that. So after 90 days, that practice become your character, your personality. So body, mind accepts that. Now you will identify yourself with that practice. People change their hairstyles. So every time they change their hairstyles. So you see, if you ask somebody why you are putting hair like this and like this, they say they are identified with that. Because they identify their personality with the hairstyle. So they cannot change the hairstyle. If you change the hairstyle, people will not accept. They feel something awkward. Yeah, that is what happened. That is a psychological thing. Therefore, we don't keep hair. Because if we keep hair, we are too much caring for the hairstyle. So we can avoid one bad habit, unnecessary applying mind into that. Therefore, the sannyasins, they do mundana kriyas. Because I was keeping a long hair for a longer time, and I was in Gangotri. Even in school time, I try to keep, but they will not allow. In the code of school practice, you cannot keep. But it was so a nuisance, because you have to spend so much time in the morning, at least 20 minutes to keep everything dry and all those. So it's very difficult. Because in Gangotri, when I was living in Gangotri, whoever lives in Gangotri is very difficult to do the shaving and all those things because of cold, and you cannot do that. So people keep hair. Anyway, this is how we identify the personality there. So now, once you identified a practice with yourself as a personality or your personality means you are exposing yourself like that. Okay. So now this goes to the deeper level of mind. The impression goes there. Why? For your own protection. Because if sometimes you forget to do it, now then that impression, that samskara will make you do it. So these impressions are called samskaras. So if one practice becomes samskara, you can totally depend on that. It will help you to practice more and more, and it will remain forever. Once it is samskara, it is permanent, because it will be there in a linga sharira, the transmigrating body, and all this intellect will carry that, and you will take birth after birth. The samskara will come out there. So this is very strong, very dangerous. So therefore, when we practice any new action or anything, so we should be careful that it should not bound us like that. So what we can do is, we can select the helpful practices for sadhana and do that. So that will also become habits. And can you live without any habits? Is it possible? Without any habits? But you should try once. So it is also possible, but it is too dangerous. Dangerous in the sense, your mind will fluctuate, and every day you will be feeling new, and it's very difficult. So how you are, we try to do that, because if you can change their practice, it is good. So, you see, whatever you do regularly, if you change that, there is a change in body and mind constitution. The constitution will change, and every day changing means the body will be reacting. So body will not accept. Therefore, body will be happy if you give some habits. So some regular practices, because subconscious mind and other actions or reactions of body can be adjusted, and the body can keep a working constitution, so that it is okay with the body. Therefore, like one day you are getting up for 4 o'clock, and the second day at 10 o'clock, and the third day again 3 o'clock. So it cannot adjust. And similarly, one day you are taking breakfast on 5 o'clock, then the next day on 9 o'clock, and the other day on 4 o'clock. So now what would happen? Everything will be confused. So similarly, everything should be in regular. The practice should be regular. Why it should be regular? For the sake of body constitution, body and mind constitution. So therefore we have to keep the time perfectly. Then body will adjust, mind will adjust, and you can easily practice that. So these are all the benefits of samskaras, the impressions you made, habitual impressions. Now these habitual impressions will, as I said, without your concern, without you applying the mind, I say the conscious mind, samskaras will work accordingly. So what is already practiced and registered and feeded there will continue. So this is the benefit, this is the beauty of samskaras. So in samskara, there is no good bad division. So good samskaras, bad samskaras. The samskaras are all samskaras. They will work same way. But the good and bad we decide by the conscious mind, according to our lifestyle, according to our the custom system where we live and all those. So it will all concern with the good and bad, because in some community something is good, in another community, another place it is bad. In one ashram one practice is good, in another ashram you go, there the practices change, so that is bad there. So there are so many differences. So this doesn't affect the samskaras. Therefore, after realizing also, the samskaras will continue their actions. So there is no need to concern the practical mind, the conscious mind of the realized person. The samskaras will trigger the mind, work accordingly. Samskaras will force the mind accordingly. So we can say the realized person will live carelessly. Carelessly in the sense, not thinking about what is going to happen in the future, tomorrow how I am going to live, where I get the food, what would be my living free. So he is not very concerned about his life. Why? Because he knows as long as the samskaras are there, I am free. They will take care of it, the samskaras. Because timing is also fixed, and all the practices are fixed in samskaras. So this is called samskara vashat. For instance, chakra brahmavat. Chakra, you know, a wheel. So a wheel of a potter. The word of wheel of a potter. So that is called Chakra Brahma. Rotation, the world of the wheel. So Chakra Brahmavata, the Chakra Brahma, how it happens, like our fan works. In those days there were no fans, so they used to see this Chakra Brahma. Therefore they put the Chakra Brahma. So potters were there. They were making all the vessels and like that. So people used to see potters working with this chakra, so they took that example. So potter's wheel, how it works. So once it is, once the movement is stopped, it means the movement is not necessary. There is no force behind, but it will move, rotate for sometimes its own with the previous momentum. So that previous momentum is called samskaras. So the momentum is already taken or already on the move. So it is continuing like that. So Chakra Brahmavata Dhrida Shariraha. So this way he is holding or living with the body. Dhrida Shariraha, invested with the body. So that momentum which he got naturally, now it is naturally, as I said, after 20 days it can be as a part of the system, physical and mental system. Therefore any sadhana, any anusthana, if we do very seriously for 21 days, then you will get a new practice. So completely dedicated to the sadhana. So sadhana intensive. Like we have sadhana intensive for 21 days. So people ask why it is 21 days. Now it is proved. Previously also they were knowing all this. And 7 days is with the first circle. The 7 days. 7 days that we have 7 days in 1 week. So the 7 days are the one circle. It is according to astronomy, astronomical changes. So it is also affecting the body and mind. You know why this Sunday, Monday and all those? It's all according to the astronomy. Because that particular day, that particular planet, that graha has some effect on us. So like today is Saturday. So it has some special effect. It is proved, it is scientifically proved. Therefore, this day is special. So Saturday, if it is Saturday with a particular tithi of the moon day, then it has some other combination. So in then particular nakshatra, what we say star. So now star and the planet or graha, actually planet and graha is not one. But graha is translated as planet, but the graha in our Jyotisha and the planet, what we call in English, is not the same. But there is no other word, therefore we call it planet. Because planets are not grahas, and all the grahas are not planets. Some of the grahas are planets, some of the grahas are not planets. Like Earth is a planet, but Earth is not a graha. Now Sun is not a planet, but Sun is a graha. So similarly there is a problem, but people have taken granted as planets. So when you study, if you want to study this Jyotisham and all those things, please don't study through English. Then you will not learn Jyotisham at all. You will learn something else. Therefore, if you want to study Jyotisham or such Jyotisham or Vaidika Ganitam or whatever, you have to study Sanskrit first. So first study Sanskrit, then go for all Jyotisham and things. And this Sankhya yoga and even yoga is also sometimes it is difficult. And other philosophies you can study because most of the words are okay. You can translate and we have the corresponding words in English. But not the Jyotisham or Veda Ganitam and this Karmakanda and all those things. So you need to study Sanskrit, and through Sanskrit we can study it correctly. Anyway, so this body-mind connection is connected to samskaras. What I was trying to say, like we were practicing some practices, some action for 1 week. So we are covering all the days of the week. It means the mind will frame one action into that level, and when it is doubled and repeated, and again it is stronger, and again you repeat, again it is strong. So this way it goes stronger and stronger, and it means your brain is accepting the actions directly. When you repeat it, brain will accept it. So that is the theory. And if it has some emotions or some deeper sense in that, then it is very easy to accept. So the intensive practice will go directly to the practice. So therefore all these sadhanas we have, day and date, and then all these days, the number of days particularly practicing on that. So it has some connection with the changes of constitution of body and mind. So dhrida shariraha. So tishtadi samskara vashat chakra brahmava dhrida shariraha. So this is a special case dealt with special logic or special reason. So how the body is maintained after the realization. So in our Vedanta philosophy, yoga philosophy, in Sankhya philosophy, Nyaya philosophy, in all philosophies they are talking about this, because there is no other way we have to talk about that. So in Vedanta also there is a sutra, Bhogena tu itare kshapayitva sampadyate. In Brahma Sutra there is one sutra, chapter 4, Pada 1, sutra number 29. So there this example is there. Kulala chakravat pravritta vegasya. So this has been quoted by Shankaracharya. The same example you can see. Here it is called chakra brahmavat. So chakra brahma is Kulala chakra. The chakra, the wheel of potter. Okay, so that is quoted in 4.1.15. Because here whatever they discuss is the same. Only the knowledge is different. There is Advaita Jnana, here is discriminative knowledge, Viveka Jnana. That difference is there. But keeping that difference, about the Jivan Mukta, whatever they say about Jivan Mukta or is maintaining the body is correct, the same. And in Sankhya Sutra we have one sutra, two sutras, Samskara Leshatas Tat Siddhi. Here it is said Samskara Vashat. There it says Samskara Leshataha Tat Siddhi. So Sankhya Sutra 383. Similarly, Chakra Brahmanava Dhrida Sharira. The same word is there. Sankhya Sutra 382. So this Jivan Mukta word is used in Vyasa Bhashya as well. Vyasa Bhashya 430, 4th chapter, 30th sutra. Tadak klesha karma nivrittihi. After the Kaivalya, the klesha karmas withdraws. So there is no kleshas, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, vinivesha, and no karmas. Klesha karma nivrittau. Now if there is no avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, vinivesha, and all the kleshas withdrawn, they are separated, and karmas also not there, then how this body can be? So he says there in Vyasa Bhashya 430, Jivanneva vidwan vimukto bhavati. The Jivan Mukti is said. So Jivanneva vidwan vimukto bhavati. While living in this body, he become realized. He gets the emancipation. So, logically and practically, we have to accept it. So, here we can say the liberation is not after death. The liberation can be while in the body. So this is called Jivan Mukta. So Jivan Neva Vidwan Vimukto Bhavati. So in these points there is no contradictories or no opposite they don't accept, or they accept both the sides. So the Vedanta also accept Sankhya's these examples, and Sankhya's also accept from there. So because after realization there is no difference. Now, according to Sankhya, one more logic is mentioned in their Sankhya textbooks. Now, here gunas are working. When the Jivan Mukta is alive after realization, the gunas are still working. Then why body is not falling? How he holds the body? The Dridha Sharida, it is said here. To keep the body, as we know from our own experience, we need to think about body. Otherwise, body will fall down. Body cannot sit, or body cannot walk. If you want to walk without thinking, how can you walk? So we have to think about that. So the mind takes that thought, and then the action comes. So this is a difficult question, how it is possible. So one way it is answered, that this samskaras, as I said, the previous practices, it already got the momentum by prarabdha karma. So that momentum will stay till the body ends. So this can be one answer. The another answer, which is given by the process of Sankhya or the creation theory of Sankhya, it is said that, you see, this realization happened because of discriminative knowledge. And discriminative knowledge occurs in Shuddha Sattva, Sattvika Guna, the Sattvika qualities. And that is also at the finest stage of Sattva. Sattva's finest stage. The fine, very, very clean. At the finest stage of Sattva, this discriminative knowledge occurs. Therefore, it is called ultra discriminative knowledge. So, very subtle. Okay? That is there. Now, this discriminative knowledge is giving the realization, or with this discriminative knowledge, the realization happened. According to Sankhya philosophy. Because the discriminative knowledge should be there, then only the realization can be there. So this is one thing. And the other thing is, if we see the progress of creation, this physical body is made out of 5 gross elements. These 5 gross elements are produced from 5 subtle elements termed as tanmatras. Okay. And these 5 tanmatras came from ahankara. So ahankara has 3 parts. Sattvika Ahankara, Vaikrita and Taijasa. Sattvika Ahankara, Vaikrita Ahankara and Taijasa Ahankara. Out of three Ahankaras, the Vaikrita Ahankara is Tamasika Ahankara. And these elements, 5 elements, produced from Tamasika Ahankara. So the tamas has the character of gravity. That is already said, Guru. So the gravity is there, weight, it is heavy. So this is the gravity which holds the body. So that we know, because of gravity, body is there. According to Newtonian's theory. Now the theory is changed. They say there is no gravity. It is what they say as space-time theory. It is not the relativity. No, there is a general theory of relativity and the special theory of relativity. The 3 points which Einstein wrote, he has not done any research. He gave all these theories. So in that general theory of relativity, we have this point there is mentioned there. So there is only curves. So some curves are there. So the curve because of those curves, so everything is standing on its position. So planets and whatever is moving, so the movement and then the energy and space all connected. So the curves are made. So there is no need for any gravity and no gravity is there. That is what they say. So okay, that is there, but we can call it as gravity here. So this gravity holds the body. And this gravity is connected to tamoguna, the tamas. And out of tamas, this body is made. Therefore, the sattva has least role in holding the body. Therefore, body will be maintained in the sense the body will be standing and sitting and working with the tamoguna and rajoguna. And this person, this realized person has no connection with this tamoguna and rajoguna. He has no need to connect, because the actions there in the tamoguna and rajoguna is not taking for his own purpose. So that purpose is completed. He is only having this discriminative knowledge, and that is there in the purest and finest form of sattva-guna. So he has no problem with that. So it is very logically we can understand. By their own philosophy we can understand this. So therefore, without touching tamoguna and rajoguna and without connecting with the body, the realized person can be realized. So the body will be taken by the samskaras and all those. So somewhere in Vijnana Bhikshu's Bhashya, this logic has been established. It's an interesting point how we can say, even for Vedanta we can use that. So this way we have completed Karika 67. Now the second one is Jivan Mukti, after that Videha Mukti, leaving the body. Prapte Sharira Bhede Charidarthatvat Pradhana Vinivrittau. ऐकान्तिकमात्यन्तिकमुभयं कैवल्यमाप्नोति. So the last sloka said, when the individual soul is still inhabiting in the body, how the body is maintained. So that was a big task for us, that is solved. Now the second one, which is very easy to understand. So after the completion of prarabdha karma, he attains videha mukti. So the last experience of kaivalya without body. Now this was with body. The soul was still inhabiting in the body. Now soul is or individual soul is departed from the body. It means the departion. What is the departing means? Separating the body and pranas. This is what the departure. So there is no other process. So this body was working, and then everything was happening. The life was on. Now body is not working. It is not fit to work. Fit for working. So therefore it is body is separated and prana is separated, and prana goes back to the sources, and body elements goes back to the sources, and the consciousness remains in consciousness, and prakriti will stop its working. So everything is distributed. So it was accumulated and now it is separated and distributed.
Linga Sharir becomes separated from the Krshna. Linga Sharir will get separation from
Yes, correct. Linga Sharir will be separated from this physical body. Yes, that is called death. The mrityu, marana. The separation of Linga Sharira or Sushma Sharira from the body. So now the elements of Sushma Sharira will go back to the elements, and the elements of physical body will go back to the elements.
During the Deha Mukti, the Linga Sharir itself will get separated from the Krshna, from the realized person.
Yeah.
So that also will get dissolved.
Yeah, so down dissolved. Once the physical body is separated, so now after that there is no karma by which the Linga Sharira normally goes to the other bodies, transmigration. So there is no reason for transmigration now. So all the karmas are destroyed. So therefore there is no transmigration. It stops there. There is no birth, rebirth.
Linga Sharira by itself will continue to Mahapralaya, no?
It will continue the Mahapralaya for merging.
Merging, but from this there is
This
no
is
merging.
after this there is no birth.
By itself it will continue to exist.
Yeah, that because the causes in that, the elements in that will merge only in the last. So prapte sharira bhede. Prapte, it means sharira bhede prapte. The separation of body has occurred. So prapte sharira bhede. Bheda means separation. And charitarthatvat. The reason that Prakriti has fulfilled its purpose. The charitartha. Charita means fulfilling, artha means purpose. So the purpose of the Prakriti has been fulfilled. The creation for the experiences and really release of the Purusha is fulfilled. Now there is no bhoga and moksha. Charitartha. Now what would happen to Prakriti? Pradhana nivrittau. Prakriti will withdraw from activities, withdraw from all the functions. The cessation of activity of the Prakriti. So pradhana vinivrittau. Aikantikam atyantikam ubhayam kaivalyam apnoti. So this is the conclusion of what we started from the first sloka. Drishte sa partha. Ched naikantika atyantato bhavat. So there it was mentioned, if the enjoyment whatever we experience is not ultimate. So we want a ultimate experience of happiness. So that would happen here, because all the different types of sufferings, three types of suffering. So all the sufferings are now left. No sufferings remains there. By pradhana niprittau, there is no prakriti. Now how can there be suffering? So therefore, that same word is repeated here. The conclusion is, now here he gets the ultimate, final experience of Purusha. The Aikantikam, Atyantikam. Aikantika means certain, absolute or final. So there is no the change after this. There is no rebirth after this. There is no coming back. Therefore it is Aikantika. Atyantika means endless. So it is imperishable. The release of the Prakriti will continue forever. So final, that is Atyantika. The eternal realization. So eternal can be Atyantika and Ananta. Atyantika means endless. There is no end to that. So he crosses that level. So Aikantika, certainly, or in the final stage, he gets that. It means it is Aikantika, Atyantika means both. Why he put all these two adding adjectives? Because the release he got is so secured, it will not, the suffering will not come back. The secured release forever. So that is final. So Aikantika, Atyantika. Ubhayam Kaivalyam Apnodi. So the Ubhayam Kaivalyam, with these two qualities, both these qualities, he will attains the singleness. Although we say attains and apnoti, but really speaking, it is not attaining, it is already there. It is a nature of Purusha. So the Kaivalya, the word translated as singleness, it is isolation, aloneness. So that is the freedom of experience and separation of Prakriti and Purusha. So Ubhayam Kaivalyam Apnoti. So this Kaivalya is called Videha Mukti, Videha Kaivalya. So we had two types of Kaivalya. So this way we have completed the main discussion of philosophy, starting from the sufferings, for the remedy for the sufferings. So here it ends with the remedy, the final remedy of suffering. So it means in between whatever we discussed is the main philosophy. Now there are slokas as a conclusion. So he will say why he wrote this Prakarana, this Karikas, and what is the connection with the original textbook of the Sankhyas and the tradition, the Guru Parambara, because now we accept Ishvara Krshna as the authority of Sankhya. Now if somebody asks why his authority, so he has to show his tradition, the lineage of his gurus, so that he will say, because I am authority, I have this tradition, I came in that tradition, therefore I am authority. So he will sign himself, the signature. So he will sign that he is the authority of Sankhya. So you can believe in that. And nobody is objecting that Ishvara Krishna is not a good Sankhya philosopher, or he is not authority. But it is a tradition. We have to sign it by the tradition. So that he will do after this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.